Welcome to Expediting Change. It's your host, Shamari James. I am in Morocco, all the way in Marrakech. This episode is brought to you by The Globe, Paradise. I have a wonderful guest with me in this beautiful place, and we're going to talk about some of the amazing, absolutely amazing global things that she is doing for the positive progression of the culture. Good morning.
Hello, Shamari.
How are
Thank
you?
you for having me.
You're welcome, absolutely. It is my pleasure. Why don't you introduce yourself to the folks?
My name is Meryanne Loum-Martin. I am the founder and owner of Jnane Tamsna, Jnane, not Jnane, Jnane Tamsna, which means Garden of Paradise, and Tamsna is the name of a village not far from here. I'm also the founder of the Diaspora Salon, which is a place where achievers of African descent diasporas can meet, inspire, connect with other people who need inspiration and access. I can be reached through the Instagram of the hotel, Jnane Tamsna, Jnane Tamsna. I can also be reached through my own Instagram, which is called Meryanne Inspired. And my name, Meryanne, is spelled in an unusual way. It's Meryanne, Inspired. So between the two, you can follow, you can send me DMs, I always answer, and I look forward to being in touch with you. We also have an Instagram called the Diaspora Salon. Make sure that you put the Diaspora Salon, otherwise I think it goes to a hairdresser salon. And the hairdresser salon was thrilled to have so many followers last year and thanked us for sending them a lot of business, because one of the speakers kept on talking about Diaspora Salon and forgot the Diaspora Salon. So the Diaspora Salon will soon show their program for next year, but you can already see what we did last year. This year in February 2024. And you can also, there's a 501c3 in the US if you want to participate, because people buy tickets to attend. Sending DMs to one of the Instagrams, and we will always answer you the same day. I am French, half Senegalese, half Caribbean, from Guadeloupe. I have traveled the world, and I used to be a lawyer in Paris, and I was always fascinated about architecture on the African continent, and Morocco gave me the opportunity to do what I love, which is architecture and interior design. And then I turned what I had built into a boutique hotel, where I had the immense pleasure of hosting Shamari and his friends.
I love it. The architecture of this place is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Was this your first project?
No, in Morocco, it was my fourth project.
Okay.
And I'm working on new projects, but they are of a bigger scale.
Mm-hmm.
And there I'm working with real architects,
Okay.
not myself only.
You said you're self-architect. Self-architect. I love it, because the beauty of this place, you can see that it is handcrafted. We were walking through the streets of Marrakech and the Medina, and you could see some of the items that were potentially from China, potentially, or from somewhere. But then when we saw the handcrafted and the handmade, it's totally different. We saw some of the other hotels here in Marrakech, but none of them like this. Like, you have been very intentional in your design, and I really loved the answer when we were talking about the hotel, and I said, you got a lot of space, what's left? And you said, no, I intentionally wanted low density. And the beauty of the garden and how you merged the architecture, where'd that thought come from? Where'd that framing come from?
Well, we are in a neighborhood of Marrakech called the Palm Grove, the Palmeraie, where you have big properties and very humble villages. And when you buy land here, you have strict laws. You cannot cover the whole land. It's between 5 and 10% maximum of the land on which you can build. and this has maintained the low density and the charm of the area, because we have to think about the palm trees which have been here before us.
So why Morocco?
Well, I'm from Paris, and Marrakech has always been extremely famous in France, because Yves Saint Laurent was here, and a lot of famous people, and also, you know, even in England, Churchill for decades would spend a good chunk of the winter in Marrakech. So Marrakech has always been like a legend of the closest exotic place full of history and culture. And it's 3 hours flight from Paris, so it was very easy for me to start coming here, and I fell in love immediately and I started doing projects here. I came for the first time in December 86.
Okay, nice.
85.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit more about this beautiful property. How many rooms? There's 5 pools. Tell me more about this property.
So we grow our own food.
Love
Everything
that.
is very organic. And we are on 10 acres. And by the end of September, it will be 30 rooms.
Wow.
Now we are at 24, but I'm finishing an extension, for which I had to buy more land because I had to maintain the low density of what was existing.
Yeah.
And each room is different because I never went to hotel school, and I don't like standardization in anything.
Love it.
I'm totally unable to create a hotel where all the bedrooms are going to be the same. So each room is different, each is full of art, each object has a history because I found it when I was traveling or when I was in Morocco, and everything is, I would say, extremely personal. The house is full of books. The thing, a house for me, and I call it the house, not the hotel, has starts living when it has art and books.
That's right.
Before, it can have great furniture, but for me it's a dead house. Yes, and then it starts living.
Now, you curate each and every space.
Yes.
I love when we walked in. So when we checked in, we came in and we're typical Americans, right? We walked in and we're looking for the front desk. And the gentleman, I forget his name, but I want to give him a shout out. I can't recall his name, but he brought us in and he said, please have a seat, have a seat. And he could kind of see that we were a little like, well, what's next? And then he said, this is where we check in. Like, calm down, American. You're okay. This is where we check in. And we checked in a beautiful library, in a beautiful space, brought us water, took our passports. It was such a warm and humbling experience, which is so separate of the hustle and bustle. You have your bag and your book bag, and you walk up to a counter and the credit card ID, and you're still in the rush of everything. One of the biggest things that came upon me as soon as we entered the property is the serene, relax, and enjoy. Like how do you feel you captured that?
Well, I think that, you know, I created a space like I like myself to travel. I would go to a big hotel only if there's no other choice, for many reasons. First, because when I travel, I like to have a sense of the place. And there's no better way than being in small structures, because you can really relate to the staff. They don't have a badge with their name, and you know. And so I created a place like I like traveling myself in India or in Latin America. And this is why there's no, I didn't want to create any expectation of classical hospitality. There's no TV. There will never be any TV in any hotel I did. And now you have internet, so people can watch Netflix if they want on their small computer or HBO or whatever. But imagine when I opened my first place in '89, the first thing that people would say is, oh, there's no TV. And I would say, yes, there's no TV because you're here to be happy.
That's right.
And the day TV will bring good news, then we will have TV everywhere.
That's
In the
right.
meantime, forget about your Wall Street ratings, whatever. Just be happy.
Right.
And it's funny because within hours, the people were saying, "Oh my God, you're so right. You're
Absolutely.
so right." You know?
Absolutely. It feels liberating.
Yes.
My wife and I, we were actually talking about it over breakfast. Like, yeah, there's no TVs in the room, and not having the TV in the room, you don't feel obligated to turn it on and watch the news before you go to bed, or see something that you're missing. It's almost like FOMO, what you fear of missing out on. But we literally prayed and went to bed.
Yes.
Every single night. So, Natasha, do not remove the TV from our bedroom. We can figure something out, but now we have some new rituals. So what's next on the horizon for you? So you mentioned Fourth Hotel. What do you have up next?
So I am in 48 hours. The structure of a new holding is being finalized in Europe. And we are developing new hotels in Morocco and after also elsewhere. The concept, the brand is called Jnane. Jnane means Garden of Paradise. And instead of calling it boutique hotel, we're calling it salon hotel. Because my business partners who have been clients for 17 years here say that they travel the world, but it's the only place when every time they come here, and they've been coming for 17 years, where they feel like speaking to the other guests, and they always meet wonderful people. And I think it is very much due to the architecture, because as you said, you walk in a library, you know, and the DNA of the hotels that we're doing is that the main room will always be about culture. So you will always walk in a library. And this new brand we're doing is also celebrating Black creativity.
Love it.
Because, you know, we are, you know, here, for example, you could see Japanese people dancing on Nigerian music. And the next week you will see Danish people dancing on rap. So, I mean, the power of the Black music is a way to really unify the festivities and joy from wherever they come. And also, the other strong thing we are doing is creating, you know, writing retreats around authors, conversations of all kind. I'm having a fabulous piano, a brand piano, delivered early October, because we want to do a lot of things around jazz also and music in general. And so I think that the concept and the DNA of what we are spreading is always going to be about you're coming, but there will always be fantastic people to meet. We will have artists in residence, painters, writers, musicians. They are part of the DNA of the hotel.
So what are you doing to expedite change? With everything being so amazing and the work that you're doing, obviously you love it, but tell me, why is it important to you?
Well, it is very important for me for many reasons. I have a foot in several Black diasporas. French-speaking West Indian, English-speaking West Indian, French-speaking African, English-speaking African, African-American, Brazilian. And what I have noticed is that in all the diasporas, you have phenomenal people. But the issue is that everybody lives in silos.
That's right.
And we need to be connected. We need to be connected for many reasons, because this is how we are going to develop strengths and develop wealth together. We need to be connected to inspire the young people. I mean, I'm thinking with all these DEI, everything, affirmative action being cancelled, it's going to be difficult for a lot of children to go to good schools. And on top, even if they excel with their grades, most of the time they don't come from connected families. And, you know, I was very privileged in growing up, and I knew that it would have been easy for me to have an internship anywhere, you know, but the kid who has amazing degrees and his dad doesn't know who to call to open a door for his son or his daughter.
That's right.
What happens?
Right.
They start they start with some kind of hurdle from the beginning. Instead of starting at a certain level in a company, they will start at the bottom. And my purpose, because I'm connected to all these achievers across all the diasporas, is to use my hotel to create a space of connection. And also, I have a lot of Caucasian guests, and they adore being with us. And so it's a space where free spirits can meet.
Yes.
It's beyond just black people.
Yes.
It's free spirits who understand that the world is not about hate. It's about love and connection. It's about growing together, because there's space for everybody. It's not either you or me. It's everybody has a chance. And this is why I started this event called the Diaspora Salon, which happens every year in February. It is very important for me that it happens in Marrakech, because Marrakech is Morocco is neutral. If I was doing this in Senegal, where I'm half from, it's a French-speaking country, all the English-speaking people would think they're not concerned. If I do it in Accra or in Lagos, the French-speaking people are going to think that it doesn't concern them.
Right.
But Morocco is neutral, and everyone wants to come to Marrakech. So the next one will be from the 8th to the 11th of February.
Okay.
I always attach my event to the last day of the fantastic African art fair happening here.
Nice.
So the art fair, it's called 154. 54 because we have 54 countries on the African continent. And it's an art fair gathering galleries from all over the world, but they can only show their black artists.
Right.
You know? So it gives an amazing buzz to Marrakech, and then the day the fair ends, I begin. And we gather achievers, many award-winning people. I would say that it's about a third achievers, whether they're going to be speaking or just interacting with other people. A third professionals from everywhere. And now we would like to reach a third students who would be sponsored to come. No one stays in the hotel apart from the speakers. And the idea is that people have access.
That's
and
right.
I did the first edition last year, and I'm absolutely thrilled to learn that one woman has found the finance for launching her business.
Love that.
A French-speaking student from West Indies who was in business school in France, who had absolutely no connection at all and was dreaming of being in private equity in England.
Yep.
He has his internship guaranteed because he met a hedge fund guy here, etc. And so I really understand that I feel that because I have a foot in so many places, and I know so many people, that my little mission on earth is to connect people in a way that is going to change the life of younger generations.
For sure.
And I want to use this hotel and the other ones I'm going to build to be the hub for these opportunities.
Absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. That is wonderful. So with all of the amazing things that you're doing, I really want to know, what does culture mean to you?
Well, I would say that culture is about identity. I often wonder how come Black culture is so strong, so powerful. And I believe that, you know, we had ancestors in shackles. On the continent, people have suffered often the worst violent colonization. Our people continue to be discriminated in so many places, but the only place that you cannot attach is your mind. The mind of Black mind remains the beacon, the heaven of freedom. And because it's the only space you can be like this, you know, but here you're free. And it's this freedom which has created an identity. And I believe that this identity, for me, it's culture. When I went to New Orleans for the first time, and I went to Congo Square, and I could imagine all these people who just had a little bit of moment of freedom in their daily life of being enslaved. And this is where jazz started. I mean, the power of the freedom that people have in their mind is spectacular. And I think this is a strength of Black people. And I think that for me, it's a freedom of mind which dictates our culture.
Love it. Absolutely. That is amazing. How often is it you visit a place as beautiful as this and you have the opportunity to sit down with the owner that then gives out their information for you to reach out to them? I encourage you, A, to come to the continent, B, come to Marrakech, Morocco, and C, come right here to this absolutely beautiful space. It was a pleasure. Thank you. I'm sure that you are extremely busy. I want to again say I'm humbled and honored that you took the time to be on the Expediting Change podcast. And I absolutely love the things that you're doing. I believe as well my God-given purpose is to connect people. So I sincerely resonate with that completely. And I wish you nothing but future success, and I will be in touch. You might have to adopt us.
Oh, well, you know what I love about this hospitality business, which I mean, it's by accident that I'm in there. I'm supposed to be. I was an award-winning lawyer in France, and people were telling me, "Are you crazy? You had the red carpet for your career here. You're going to be an innkeeper in Marrakech, you know?" And this hospitality thing gives me the opportunity to meet wonderful people.
Absolutely.
And this is absolutely how I want to leverage the fact that I own a hotel and I'm developing new hotels to give access to people. Because for one of our literature events around the Black Pulitzer Prize, we had this young man from Morehouse who had never left a little diameter around Georgia where he was. Had his passport made for the first time, was the first of all his family and all the siblings to go to college. And the day he left, he said, having been surrounded by Black people of this caliber in a place owned and designed by a Black woman has changed the trajectory of my life.
Love it.
And this is what I want my places to be, is to show to young people things are possible. Don't believe all these people, all this structure which are done to make you stay where your grandparents were. It's now we are in 2025 and the sky is a limit if you have confidence and access and inspiration.
Love it. Love it. I cannot close any better than that. Make sure you have confidence. We will support you with access, and we're going to get to the bag. This has been an excellent conversation. I mean, how do I wrap up all of the beauty, the beautiful words that was said, the beautiful place that we are in? I don't know if I can do it any justice, but one of the most potent things that was said was culture ultimately equals the freedom of your mind. If you have that culture and the freedom of thought, you can also have wellness. They can physically shackle you, physically enslave you, but they can never ever take away your mind. And your mind controls the body. So whatever it is that you believe that you can do, you can absolutely achieve, but it starts with you having a dream, to that thought, to thinking about it, and in your mind, putting that action plan together. Expediting Change was started because we wanted to not say that we were moving away from activism and adding advocacy, but also we have to have action. We have to make sure that we are actually going in and paralleling our efforts from our advocacy and our activism to actually getting into the streets and making positive change. But the only way that we can do that is if we dream it, if we believe it, and we become it. This is Expediting Change. Your host, Shamaria Kill James. I am absolutely blessed to be in Africa, to be on the continent, to be in Marrakech, Morocco, doing what I absolutely love to do, with individuals who I absolutely love to sit down and talk to. I hope that you can do the same as well. I know that you can do the same as well, as long as you believe it, because that's what the culture is and that's what the culture is for. This is Expediting Change. I appreciate you all.